Now that you've seen all the fun and exciting part of making a project like the one that we did for Epidemic Sound, the traveling, the shooting, the meeting new people and all that good stuff, today I'll show you the ugly part. Because the moment that the shooting is done is actually where the nasty stuff starts. The home alone, sitting somewhere in a dark room, editing and sitting there staring on a screen for hours upon hours. So if you're here today to listen to some catchy music and see some nice B-roll, I have that for you, but later in this video. So no worries, it's gonna start at this time here. Feel free to jump at that point, but since this entire series is for those of you who also might inspire to become a content creator as well, I thought that aside from all the inspirational and the cool stuff, you should also get the honest full truth about what also goes into making projects like those. And that is that the entire week after we came back from the Netherlands, I basically did nothing else but sitting on my desk editing and did not go out a single time until the final video was done. So this is what the first minutes of this video will be about, and after that we have a little nice B-roll road trip for you as well. And by the way, if you're wondering, I'm back home in my apartment in Germany. How that came you will see in one of the next videos, but now let's first get back to Sweden. So, today is Wednesday. We came back Sunday evening, and then the last 2 days I've been working on other stuff. I've been editing 2 vlogs for Warner and a couple other things. And today in the morning I started on the edit for the episode that we were shooting on the weekend together with Sadia. And since the feedback that I've been getting whenever I do a video of that kind of magnitude has usually been pretty great, and people were asking me, how did you make those videos? That especially happened after the highlight videos I made for Jon Olsen. If you haven't seen any of them, up here in the right corner you'll find a playlist with all the videos I made for him. And those videos can easily take me like 30 to 40 hours to make. Insane, I know. Most of the times when I tell people in the end how much time and effort goes into the actual edit, most often they're completely shocked and don't understand that. But I thought that if I share that, it might be a little bit more understandable. So the first step with a project like this is always... And this is where I drifted off into some long-winded explanations of what I was actually doing there, which is not really interesting, so I'll spare you that because it's not the actual point of the video. I just wanted to give you a rough idea of how much actual editing time stands behind a video like this. The interview we made with Sadia was 1 hour and 5 minutes. And the big task is to turn those 65 minutes into 5 minutes of an actual video. Chopping up the parts that I really like, bringing them in an order that makes sense, and then just really chopping down the statements to make them short and precise, but still get as much of information in. And I think the last 2 times it probably took me around 8 hours simply just to get that interview shortened down to 5 minutes and really get those valuable bits and pieces and turn it into a story that makes sense. It's tedious and it takes a whole lot of time, but it slowly on the timeline and more so in my head starts to become like a story that in the end will then turn out to be the final video. I'm probably gonna sit a few more hours here doing that, shortening it down as much as possible. Currently I'm down to about 12 minutes, so I still gotta get rid of 7. I don't know how, because I like everything that you said, but it worked the last 2 times, so it's gotta work this time as well. And in the end it did, and after locking myself in for 3 full days, I finally got the first version exported. Wow, already telling you this in 4 minutes feels like a lifetime. Now imagine how it actually felt doing it. Not joking, those 3 days I basically only left my desk whenever I ran out of things to snack on. But eventually I got the video out to the Epidemic team, and that was the right moment to drop everything and get out into daylight again, to take a deep breath of fresh air and head on a little road trip. Oh my god, how awesome that was to finally get back out again. We only really had one spot we wanted to go to, and other than that this was just a plane driving around through the beautiful Swedish autumn nature trip. Do you sometimes do that too? Drive around without any clear plans and see where the roads take you? We do, and that was one of those days. I must say that I know what you're going through. All the funny stuff that's going through your head now. And oh yes, then we finally made it. This is probably my favorite store in all over Sweden. And by the way, if some far day in the future we ever get a sponsor on this YouTube channel, can it please be some cookie or candy company? That would be so awesome. But that would also mean that I would gain so quickly. Don't know how it is for you, but when I open any kind of package, I'm not gonna give it out of my hand until it's empty. Either I can take like 2 things and then be super disciplined and put it back. How? I will never understand that. This store is absolute paradise for a candy lover like me. And you're actually allowed to try a few things, so let's do that. The sun is so bright now. Very good.
hard to see you hide
In the end, I got this one.
the shade. But I know there's a way.
And as you can imagine, it certainly didn't survive this day.
Now let me show you another.
But anyways, there was something more I wanted to talk about in this video. Because as I was editing this, I had another thought. Before I started the series, there was one thing I've been thinking very long and hard about, and that was what kind of goal I should set for myself. I mean, for example, something like a certain subscriber count to reach. But what I realized over the time I've been more serious about this YouTube channel is that the subscriber count, especially if you're starting out, is more often than not the most painful thing to look at. Subscribers can fluctuate so much, I sometimes even have the impression that whatever that number does, it dictates how I'm feeling that day. Yesterday, for example, at one point in time, I lost like 10 or 12 subscribers throughout the day, and that immediately rings all my alarm bells and makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong here and if I should stop putting so much effort into these videos.
'Cause you've been hiding in the shade for too long.
Then I take a deep breath and remind myself that looking at the sub count or looking at the views is not really helpful, it's just addictive. And there's one thing that Gary Vaynerchuk often says that I try to remind myself of, which is that any piece of content you put out, even if it doesn't get a lot of likes, views, that helps out one single person on the other side, is a good piece of content. And so from now on forward, if in any of those videos that person is you, I'd be extremely excited if you let me know by reaching out or dropping a small comment. You wouldn't even believe how much more fuel that gives me. So this is this kind of super cute store or warehouse where they have all kind of handmade Swedish clothes as well as like delicious stuff. And there's so much to try, so I gotta keep snacking. So that out of the way, I was thinking what else might be a measurable goal I could set, and after thinking for a while, I got to realize it must be something that only I have under control, and that is just connected to my effort that I put in. So I decided that over this one-year journey that we're on here right now, I want to put out 150 videos.
You'll find a different side of me, the one I'd like to be.
150 videos. This one here is video number 8, by the way. Realistically, I can create a video like this every second or third day, so I felt 150 would be ambitious, but still achievable if I stick it through that entire year. And the first milestone that we're gonna try to achieve here is the point where I'll have 100 videos on this YouTube channel. With this video at the moment, we'll be at exactly 51. So we just made it back from our little road trip for today, and I guess that's enough for today's video. 49 more to go. Let's go in and see you in the next one.
You'll find a different side of me, the one I'd like to be, a different side of me, yeah.